high school.
Oh, really?
Told you they grew up in.
Okay, you guys.
Yeah.
Hi, all.
Okay.
Oh, good. Nice, thank you.
Can I get it?
Oh, yes.
Sure, first.
Yeah, just real good. And then it is.
Yeah.
Last night.
I'm gonna put them up you and that's what you said as well.
Okay.
100 years ago today marked a stark event. It's Betty Levin's day of birth, so we'll throw in our 2 cents. She's seen so much of changes, like from radios to TVs, from trolley cars to jumbo jets, to vaccines victories.
Our dear Aunt Betty, she's the best. She's surely seen it all. Canton's been her residence and been her port of call. November of dear Betty's birth in 1924, a Rhapsody in Blue was new and never heard before.
Myers Lake, the place to hear the swinging big bang sound. The dance craze was the Lindy Hop till swing time came around. Lehman High School's hallowed halls of pleated skirts and bobby socks, rumors spread like wildfire, as did measles, mumps, and chicken pox.
There were 11 of the 11s, 2 parents and 9 children. Cozy times in quite tight quarters, thank God for penicillin. There was Norma, Marge, Sam, and Blanche, and little brother Eddie, but also Sarah, Al, and David, and yes, sweet baby Betty.
With 9 kids, they sure had enough to form a baseball team. But study, work, and household chores left little time for dreams. What dream they did, they found their mates and everyone was red. Step-sister Sarah stayed at home and chose that life instead.
Herb freed Betty from the house of Nate and Sadie Levin. In front of all, they tied the knot while sharing vows and blessings. The newlyweds had made their home not too far from their folks. As Herb unwound his lengthy yarns, she laughed at all his jokes.
After several moons had passed, there was a nice surprise. Betty's pregnant, she's with child, and soon their son arrives. Nelson was their pride and joy and still is to this day. Betty's love that's deep and wide will never fade away.
On this day, we celebrate Aunt Betty's century mark. The years have been so kind to her, we cheer this matriarch. So here's to you, we make this wish. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll celebrate again next year. We know it's worth pursuing.
Happy birthday.
I gave you a copy. You can look at it.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Betty. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Sue Schaefer. She's from the Canton Jewish Federation Center, and she's known her since 2017. This is Jennifer Tassani. I got the last name. They were next door neighbors when they lived on Johnny Cake Bridge. And Jennifer, we'll get this out now. Jennifer saved her life. Yeah, February 19th, 2010.
He remembers everything.
She parked her car in a ditch going to see my late dad when he was at the McKinley Healthcare. They called it date night every Friday. I have stories to tell, you know me. Anyway, so she wrecked her car, and all of a sudden you came around. He said, "Oh, that's Benny." So she says, "Oh, my guardian angel." She was in a ditch. Remember that? She never driven a car since. I wouldn't let her. You got around on the SARTA. You got around with the sitter. Okay, moving on. Penny Scabbles, who knew her before I did. I think a week before I was born. Penny's dad used to be my father's doctor. Dr. Penny Scabbles in Canton. My mom, years ago, used to, because my dad died, she used to blow him out. She says, "Scab's gonna get it." She called him Scab. Scab's gonna, remember that? Dr. Scabs. Yeah, we'd see him jogging all the time on Plain Center Road. He used to jog and wave. You didn't know him. You didn't get to know him before. And this is her dear nephew and niece, Jeff Levin and Cheryl Levin. They came from Toledo. And Jeff is the son of her late brother, David Levin. And David passed December 2nd, 2009. And then, so she's been going solo since with the rest of the family. She's the baby of 9 children, and she's the only one that made it to 100. Today's November 9th. They were married August 1972, I think, right? 20th, yeah. And they played, we've only just begun at their wedding. I was a baby. I was only like 3 years old. You were at their wedding. You were. You really were. So.
That's right.
And Dusty's over here. Dusty, I've known 14 years. He's my the brother from another mother that I never had. He adopted my mom as his mom. He knew her when she was on Johnny Cake. He knew her. He helped her move to the Bobo Link and then the Antebellum Village, and now here. So, and he's my bestest friend. I couldn't ask for a better guy. My brother. I got best friends and I got my brother. So, over here we have Elisa Royer. She's a newbie kind of in his life. My friend Mike over here, who John and Mike and me, we used to toy around all these years, and that's his wife and his daughter. And then my friend Mike Royer, he was my locker partner in gym class in 1981 at 6th grade. Best locker partner I ever had. We stayed friends for life. And then John Miola and Melissa Miola. John I'd known forever, 1985 or 86 at least, from Glen Oak High School.
I think 84. I think 84.
Oh yeah, 84 he had. Mr. Smith's class.
Yeah, we were Smith's.
Oh yeah, journalism.
Yeah.
So anyway, but he's the bestest friend you could ever have, him and Mike. And we used to pal around, and we used to stay out late. So they waited up for me, you and Dad. My late father, rest in peace. They were married 57 years. They got married June 20th, 1954. And my dad passed January 19th, 2012. And she did everything for him, like I'm doing for you now. Everything. But John, man, we used to go out, all I gotta do is say Dinker's place, you know what I'm talking about.
Did she go to McKinley?
Yeah, she went to Lehman. She was Lehman High School in Canton, class of 1943. Let's see here. And,
I went to Lehman too.
Mark Manheim. Mark is the grandson of her late sister Norma Raffle, who passed away April 23rd, 1991. And all these Levins, Levins was her maiden name. They had wonderful traits. I'll never forget when my grandma was buried. Rabbi Spencer said she was like a Florence Nightingale, and the whole family just like. So Mark and my mom have been really close.
And your
many
mom's
years.
not only my aunt, she's my godmother.
Oh, yeah.
So my mom and dad always said,
Godmother, that's right.
and if anything, my mom said, if anything happens to, her, my father, I'm going to Betty and Herb.
My dad his name was Herb. Isn't that something? His late father was a photographer too, Bill Manheim. I don't know if you remember the name or knew him, but Bill Manheim. But anyway, they were great folks. Bill and Eileen, they were cousins. I don't want to skip anybody here. I see, I got you all. And then the photographer and then his people here. This guy,
My wife Lindsay.
nice to meet you guys. He was gonna do an almost wedding. I was gonna get married to Julie years ago. Julie Golden. And he came to the house and he met Dr. Golden, he met my dad. He met her years ago. She still looks the same. It don't matter the age, Grace. Do you remember Michael? He came to the house, Dr. Golden's house, when Julie and I were gonna get married that time. Long time ago.
Julie says hi.
Oh yeah, I wish I could have invited everybody. But this is it. These are the really important people, and we can eat, and then we'll have the cake afterwards. Stay tuned. But the plates are over there. You guys can help. Mike's wife, Lisa, and her daughter Erica.
And then this is my daughter
How was
Erica.
that wedding a year ago?
She's my youngest of 4.
I remember Betty Herman Nelson coming to our home for Thanksgiving dinners. And then my mom finally got smart and said, we're going to go to the Holiday Inn for a buffet.
We did. The one on Tusk.
At my parents' house. Yeah. And we had a good time. It was always, our house was so small on 38th Street, but we all, had wonderful times together. And that was downstairs in our rec room. And check that out. You remember that?
Wait a minute, I gotta get these glasses on. This is
I know
crazy.
Nelson remembers this.
Oh my, I've never seen that before. Oh my God, that's me and Mom and Dad. Oh jeez. Well, let me see if I can tell kind of what year it is.
So
I must have been about
just
2 or
remember
3.
those times.
I think that was 72.
You don't realize when it's happening how precious those moments are.
Oh wait a minute.
And then-
I do.
But now, I do looking back at how strong and how tight our family was, and I miss those days very much. But I'm so glad you're here to celebrate 100.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. We go back 40 years.
Happy birthday to you. Yes. Happy birthday. It's been, only 40 years. I've known Nelson from the time he lived. It was a long time, yeah.
Long time.
Long time. And
Yeah.
we were out in, when you were living on, what was the apartment?
44th Street, the one with
44th
townhouses on
the
King Canton. Remember, you
townhouses.
remember those days.
Remember you lived there, and her
Brought
would
Daphne once.
see you guys. And remember the stories you had with your trip to New York, and I remember those normal stories. And so anyway, I want to happy birthday. It's really a joy, and wish you all the best. Many more years. Many more years.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, Mike, do you have any fine words to say, Mike? You know this young lady for a few years here, I'd say, and he got to sit with us at that award ceremony. Don't forget, yeah. That's good.
You're wonderful.
Yeah.
I remember when it was at your apartments, and then that one time,
Yep.
where we go, we went to that concert.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Mom and Dad telling you, make sure you don't stay out too late.
Don't stay out too late. Oh, was that the one in Cleveland with John? With John, did we?
I
Yeah,
think
some- yeah,
we went
yeah,
to
the,
the concert.
Little Feet with Eric Clapton.
That's right. Remember
First,
that?
second night Gund Arena open
Yeah, that's
too.
right, that's
I have
right.
a date. I have a date. I have to look it up. 94. Oh,
I think we saw the
94.
Allman Brothers there too.
94,
The
so.
Allman Brothers we saw there too.
Yeah,
We did.
we got him home on time.
Yeah, we got
They
them all
did.
on that. I didn't. I was bad. I didn't. I got lectured one time.
Dinger's place. That's
Yeah,
all I gotta
yeah.
say.
You were very understanding. Thank you.
Remember when I
Very
went out and he says,
understanding.
"Oh, you were out with John too late. What'd you do? Did Dad got mad?" And it's like, hey, we forgave you. We forgave you.
Well, that's good.
They forgave me.
Yeah.
But we had our fun, haven't we?
They-
today?
oh, they did.
John and I had our fun back in the day. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Do you have anything, Lisa? Okay, yeah. Let me see. Okay, we'll go with the fine folks over there, the Peggy and Sue. Do you have any fine words to say for mom.
Well, we're the newbies. We haven't known her
I
long.
guess.
So you've known her a long time, but like me.
Yeah, but not as long as
Yeah.
everyone else. But it's been very enjoyable. We've had a lot of laughs. You know, we've had ups and downs. But it's always been a joy to be with Betty. And she always made me feel bad because I never put on makeup.
No.
So, she's always looking good.
Always,
She has
always.
light makeup on, but it's just, you know.
She always looks good.
Oh, she always looks good.
Yeah.
And she told me a long time ago that when she wasn't putting makeup on, that was the end. I remember that.
I wait for you to come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you guys. Jennifer, you're next there, her guardian angel and her.
Well, I'm just here. I just want to say happy birthday. Happy birthday to all the wonderful times that we had. I think you will We had great times. We had wonderful times. The best neighbor, the best friend.
Yeah.
I love you. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. I think we got him. Well, our photographer there, he met her back in '07 for one time. So, and he's with us again.
He wasn't even born yet whenever I met her.
I met this guy at the Wayne County Fair in 2007 when I was going to get married to Julie.
That's right.
And he came to Dr. Golden's. He knew Julie.
Yeah.
A lot of people here knew Julie. And he came to Dr. Golden's house and we tried to sort things out and things didn't work out. He met Dad. He met my dad. Yeah, a long time ago. Well,
I was shy.
no, I got to give mine and Dusty. I don't want to put him on the spot. Do you have anything to say? You know your other son here. Dusty, real quick. You got something to say?
Dusty's got something here.
The times I had is going over visiting her,
Time ago.
talking about old times and going to the grocery store with her,
Yeah.
Help her out with everything.
helping her out.
Dusty knew my dad too. He came into my life in 2010. So let me get my bearings together here and then where we at here? So now I say the best for last is coming from me. The one who teased her all his life. Not anymore. Okay. Dearest Mom, my birthday gift to you. Well, here we are, November 9th, 2024. 100 years ago today you came along. Just 44 years later, after being married 15 years, she was married June 20th, 1954. 15 years later, I arrived May 23rd, 1969. They had the name picked out, it was Susan, because back then they didn't even have the ultrasound thing. I was supposed to be a girl. I was supposed to be a girl.
So you were the boy named
So I
Sue,
came out
huh?
the boy named Sue. So, but not an early walker, but an early talker. Thanks to you and the books you always shared with me that Hallie's, Penny's, Sarah's, Higbee's, you know, she used to read through the books and she'd ingrained it in my head that this guy's gonna read.
So happy with you.
Oh, of course, I know. So, throughout the 55 years you brought me to life, we had our share of challenges, ups and downs. Many people in the world wish they could tell their mother, or wait a minute, they could tell their mother how much they mean to him. You often say, like you said before, I'm all you have left. You're all I have left, she tells me. I too say the same.
Oh, we have left.
That's right. Many people in the world wish their mother has a long life, let alone reach a rare centenarian mark of 100 years. You achieve both, Mom. All my life I've honored you. Both you and Dad set the stage for me to learn my own, hold on a second here, to learn my own lessons, strive for the best in life, and you were my cheerleader of every single accomplishment ever. And something about her, she was everyone's mother. You broke the mold when you became my mother, and you broke a bigger mold when everybody adopted you as their mother. You embraced only the best values, teaching me the good morals of life to become the person I am today. You share my victories, you cry for my ailments. I'll never forget when I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, August 11th, 1987. It was one day before Dan's 60th birthday, which was August 12th, 1927. Do the math, he was 59. Okay, it was a relief and somewhat of a heartache at all at once, because you read Ann Lander's column and you seemed to know what was going on, the mystery that everybody was You did. Let's get back to 1969 and the early years for that, but before we do, let's revisit the happy memories of years gone by. You always said you never thought the golden years offered much, but I think today is evident based on all these people you have touched over the years. You reached a huge milestone, Mom. The first of 11 children and the baby of 9 to not only outlive the rest of your family, but today, November 9th, 2024, the first to reach 100 years of age. It was on a cold Sunday, November 9th, 1924. Sadie and Nathan Levin gave birth to you in an old home. Well, Sadie gave you birth, actually. Nathan helped create it. In an old home on Market Avenue in Canton. I think it was the Altman Hospital or something, he said. You have your siblings, Sam, Marge, Norma, Alfred, David, Blanche, Sarah, and Eddie. A few had already left home and had moved by this time. But I think you shared a bedroom, if not mistaken, with Blanche and Sarah. You called one... You did. See, I don't forget the stories. You called one Honey Dear, and you called the other one Honey Bunch. Is that right? Honey Dear and Honey Bunch? Who was Honey Dear? Remember that?
I didn't know for them.
You had a name for them. Your dad was the cantor of Sheraton Synagogue, making you all proud. You attended Summit School and became friends with Gloria Kinney and Gloria Gold. And you sang in Glee Club at Wayman, attending high school, graduating there in 1943. I'm going to share a hidden secret. It's not a secret. Her kid brother, Eddie. They caused some trouble years ago and they snuck in the basement as kids and they drank the wine on 1326 12th Street. I think it was Mug and David wine. It was supposed to be out of sight. She got drunk. She shared the story with me. She was just a kid. And she says, I'm busy. She came up the stairs. He says, I'm busy. And I don't forget nothing. Instead of saying I'm dizzy. A story carried throughout the generations. You always talked about Hoover Drugstore on Fulton, and of course Taggart's Ice Cream, which is still there to this day. Yeah. You took stenography and worked as an office secretary for Friesen Bishop, and then she worked for the Canton Jewish Center as a secretary too, with Sharon Helene. In between meeting Dad, thanks to your best friend, Wilfried. And then 15 years later came me. And what a joy I was to have around for a surprise they thought was never going to happen. Candyland, we played games. I used to cheat. You got mad at me. We played Candyland with Cheerio. She used to take the $20,000 pyramid when I was at school just so I could see if somebody won. And the money maze and all that good stuff. Took me to the playground, took me on walks. We had friends over like Maria Trickus, Sean Welch, Christy Sadler, Jimmy Sabino, you know, all my friends from years gone by. We were each other's anchors. The guy that used to be with a hospice nurse when she first came in here said something I'll never forget. He says, you are your mother's lifeline. You are her anchor. And I can't forget that. And then things that trials we've been through, you know, when dad had his blinding on his colon, he made it through, and the thumbs up he gave in that elevator both to us. January 7th, 1987, Dr. Pat Ant did it and saved his life that time. Aunt Sarah was always her shoulder to cry on. She always went to her sister Sarah when we had, when something was on her mind that was like her cohort. There's her other, and Aunt Sarah took the place of my grandma, who I got to meet when I was 2. But Aunt Sarah did like grandmotherly stuff for me, Sarah Levin. Then it was December 5th, 1988, when my father had a severe auto accident on 38th and Whipple, and we thought glad he could remember that. We thought he wasn't gonna make it. The doctor gave him a 50-50 chance of survival. He had brain swelling, remember? And then Dr. Talbot, he was new at the time, and he said basically, so he's not gonna make it. He says, I don't know, we'll know by morning. So he did a subdural on my dad and saved his life. Gave him another 23 years with us. And he came, and Mom and I got to celebrate his 63 year where he worked at the Cone Oil Company in Canton. he sold the most antifreeze in 1 year after the accident in 1989. He was Stark County like Salesman of the Year at the Canton Club in 1990. I still have a picture of those days. We were scared. He was 61. You were 64 at the time, and me, I was just a teenager at 19. December of '88. Mom would pull her shirt off her back for him. She took him to Mills, spring of 1989. I think they went to Damon's every day, and he used to eat meatloaf. He had to drive him because he couldn't drive yet, after the accident. John's Bar. We nursed Dad back to health. We are so fortunate, thanks to your undying and enduring love and support and dedication, we were able to bypass that 50-50 chance, just that a doctor said, and have another wonderful 23 years with him. Dad passed away January 19th, 2012, at 84.
Sad.
Huh? And then the big milestone was June 10th, 1987, which was, give me a minute here. And a week after I graduated high school, I finally got my driver's license. So she was in the basement doing clothes on 44th Street. Dad took me to do the driver's test, and that old Buick he had, the Buick, and he was doing laundry. And I came downstairs, and I said, "Guess what?" She says, "You passed." And I passed, didn't I? And I've been get off the road now. No, just teasing. Remember that with my license,
What do you remember that?
Of course I remember everything. June 12th, 1982, my bar mitzvah, the big party we had in the basement of the townhouses. The momentum when I graduated college, May 27th, 1993. And then when you were so mad at me when I moved to Zor, January 27th, 2009. She says, "He's not going to be home anymore. He's going away." I said, "Someday I'm going to move you down here." And my wish happened in a weird kind of way, didn't it?
I didn't remember that.
Oh yeah, I do. Don't forget. And then of course, I'm not going to rehash some things we went over there. She's had few close. We had an incident June 6th, 2002. I didn't know what to think. She had a seizure. She was allergic to lidocaine. The dentist gave her, and she was on the floor, and Dad was calling her name, so we saved her. I mean, I don't know what was going on. And you got out that day, remember? It said the next day. I think it was the next day. And then in a few episodes when I moved her she was doing very well. She moved into assisted living at the Antebellum Village November 15th, 2018. And then doing very well there and made a lot of good friends. And then some things happened where she had a few falls. And then I kind of took charge and I said, "Well, I got to get her down here." Oh, 30. Oh, it is, okay. And with COVID 3 times and RSV here in February, she made it through it all. And here she is today, and I'm glad to call. So, okay, well, thank you. Well, I think I'm kind of running over, so thank you. That's on tape. So we got to do the cake real quick, and then we'll get that in here. Hey, can someone help with it? I think it was back in. Wait.
No, I'm gonna go off. Just don't put 100. Don't do like they did with my aunt. They gave her the 90 candles. They put 45 on the cake. I'm not kidding. It set off the alarm.
It's gonna set it off here.
Well, no, it set off the this.
Hold on a second here.
Careful there.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on here.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Hold on.
She got it. She got it for you.
Oh, thank you so much. There it is, Mom.
Alright. Get ready to make a wish. Gotta make a wish.
Yeah.
Should we sing first?
Yeah, to make a wish.
Go back. Another 100 years here.
Come
on, Mark, come on. Can you blow it out or are you gonna need help with it? You do it? You got it, John?
I got it.
Come on, you can do it. I got now. One more.
Trick candle?
You want me to do it?
What's that? That's not a trick candle, is it? Alright, here, Nelson. Here, Nelson.
I don't know what. I don't know what.
Please don't worry about it. Don't worry. Come.
People want to hang out afterwards, there's like another room there. I don't know what we're gonna do, my dinner or whatever, your fire alarm, the trick cam, that time to hear that. His mom is great, so it's the exact time. Every Thanksgiving I'd come over and every Thanksgiving I'd come over and your dad couldn't make it, today, or how are we doing?
Oh,
Your dad.
got rushed.
It's 70% of that, so. But still, you know.
Mike, this is not supposed to. Okay. Just right, I like it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
But still, you know.
We'll do 2 more of them.
Okay.
Again. Alright. On the count of 3. 1, 2.
You cheated!
That's the trick yet.
That was the B&B trick?
That was for the blinker. One last one. Here we go. They gotta go. Big smiles. 100 years.